All right, we're going to be using what we learned over the last couple sections to do one new type of problem. It shouldn't be too terrible, but we'll just go slow at the beginning. So we're going to be working with AND statements, which have two different forms and they mean the same thing. If we look at the top, this right here is an AND statement. And what it means is down here at the bottom. This part here is one statement. -2 is less than y, right there. And then also, this is also a statement. Y is less than 4. And so if we were graphing this, we're going to be graphing two different lines. I'll graph the first one first. -2 is less than y. The y is bigger than the -2, so I'm going to shade to the right. And y is less than 4. Actually, I'm going to shade this like this here. And y is less than 4. So the 4 is here, and y is less than it, so I'm going to shade this way. Now, in an AND statement, AND implies that it needs to be true for both equations. So this part here is only true for one. This part here is only true for one. So what the answer actually is something between -2 and 4. Two open circles. And the answer is actually somewhere in there. And if you look, the statement should make sense. It wants numbers that are between -2 and 4. So like 0 or 1 or 2. Okay? So in order to solve these problems, you have to break them up into the two parts. Over here I go -2 is less than x plus 2. You do the entire middle. And over here I do x plus 2. Once again, the entire middle is less than or equal to 4. The biggest mistake I see is people do this. -2 is less than x. 2 is less than or equal to 4. Okay? First of all, it doesn't make any sense. But secondly, it's not correct at all. Do not do this. Okay? It's a problem that you can't fix. Okay? From here, you just solve each of these separately. -2, -2. So we get -4 is less than x. And over here, we're going to subtract 2. And we get x is less than or equal to 2. Therefore, I'm going to graph. So here's -4, and it's an open circle, and I'm going to be shading that way. And over here, it's going to be a closed circle, and I'm going to be shading that way. So the answer will be in between these 2 points. It frequently will be, but not always. Okay? One other thing I want to show you here. We want to rewrite this as one of these AND forms. Okay, and the way to do that's pretty simple. You just simply take the -4 here is less than x, and then you rewrite that part here, so you get less than or equal to 2 here as well. Okay? Thought someone just came in the room. All right, so that's how we want to write the answer there, and that's how the graph should look. Let's do another one. We're getting a little bit tougher here. So we got -3 is less than or equal to 2x plus 1. And over here, we'll do 2x plus 1 is less than or equal to 5. So I'm going to subtract 1. Get -4 is less than or equal to 2x. Divide by 2. And so I get -2 is less than or equal to x. That's 1. And over here, I get 2x is less than or equal to 4. Divide by 2. Okay, and if this is too fast for you for solving equations, then we need to go back and practice this some more, because we've been doing these for like 4 chapters. So I'm hoping that this part here is something that you all can do. Okay. The graph, I'm going to be shading, this is a closed circle, and I'm going to be shading to the right. And here it's going to be a closed circle. I'm going to be shading left. Therefore, the answer will be in between them. And my algebraic answer will look like this. Easy way to check is find an easy number that's in between these two, like 0, and put it into the equation and see if it makes a true statement. So I'm going to pick 0, and so I go -3 is less than or equal to 2x, which would be 0, plus 1 would be 1, it's less than 5. So is 1 in between 5 and -3? Yes, it is. So we've done it correctly. Okay. Now we're going to have you try this one here. Alrighty, let's see how we did. Okay, well, we're going to divide by a negative number, so we're going to have to flip the sign. So it's now greater than here. Run over here. Or sorry, less than. -4. Once again, we're going to have to flip the sign. So it's going to be greater than -2, and it's going to be less than 3. Oop, not shaded over here. There we go. This way. So our answer will be right in the middle. Our algebraic answer will be -2 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 3. Or you could write it the other way. You could write 3 is greater than or equal to x, which is greater than -2. I prefer this way, but both ways are mathematically correct. Now I'm going to pause it. I want to make one tiny little thing to show you at the end. 2 types of problems you got to hold out for, okay, that might happen, and you got to be ready for it. Top one, -2 is greater than x. So here's -2, and x is smaller, so I'm going to be shading to the left. Okay, and so it would look like this. And this one, -6 is greater than x, so it's an open circle, and I'm going to be shading to the left. And since it's an and statement, we only care where they're both true. Well, it's not both true here, but it is here. So the answer is actually just this one. This piece over here is irrelevant. Okay? It doesn't happen very often, but it can. Remember, for and, you're looking for both. And over here, if you have a -4 is greater than x, that means we're shading like this. And you have a 2 is less than x, that means we're shading like this. And since it's an and statement, we're waiting for where they're both true, and there's nowhere where they're both true, so this has no solution. Okay? Doesn't happen often, but they do show up once in a while. All right, assignments posted on the website. Have a great night.